before I get into the gambling, we're gonna run a quick my quick memory of the day. This is day 4 of 366, and since yesterday I mentioned about seeing the flute in the in St. Louis from the episode Inner Light of Next Generation. I figured that today would just make sense to mention getting to visit the St. Louis Arch. Um, I mean, again, it's another one of those things. This is a man-made thing, but similar to the Grand Canyon, where, although not that impactful, it doesn't have that same kind of thing. But when you get to the arch and you actually see it, the first time that we saw it, we were driving into St. Louis, and it was a day similar to today, where there was a lot of storms around, and it was a really cool reveal that we had there because we came in on what was it, 70, I guess. We're coming in on 70 and Interstate 70, and it's, I mean, it is pouring down rain. It's cloudy. It's, yeah, you can't see that far ahead. And then as you're approaching the city, you just see this, lone monolithic arch, amidst these clouds and lightning strikes and stuff. It's very, very cool. But the arch itself is really fun too. There's a really awesome museum underground, directly under the arch. If you haven't been there, it gives all kinds of details of how it was constructed and all that. There's a bunch of different shops down there that are all of the workers and all that are all dressed in period clothing for like the time that the arch was constructed, like the late 1800s, and they have different types of goods and such that you could buy there that are, you know mimicking what was available in stores back then. So very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. You can get into these pods that take you up to the top of the arch. I could not go because those pods are not wheelchair accessible anyway. Karen got to go all the way to the top. The K Rock got to go all the way up there and experience the very top of the arch. Said it was amazing. Got pictures. Um, Yeah, but the museum itself is worth it by itself. Being able to stand right underneath the arch too is very cool because you can stand right up against it and look up and just it's a little disorienting when you're standing right underneath it to see it arcing up over you. Um, there is also a funny story about when we went there because we hadn't really thought of it as a national museum and all that, and we usually on the one of the packs on my chair, we usually have a fair number of knives that we carry around. It's just a holdover from, I don't know, another life or something. But we have a lot of daggers and knives and stuff that we carry with us a good bit, and didn't even think of it when we were going to the museum. And so they're like, okay, now everyone go through this metal detector, and we were like, oh no. And then we go through the metal detector, and of course they're like, okay, what's in the bag? And I was like, actually, you know what? There's like a whole bunch of knives, like in there, like an odd number of knives that that doesn't seem. And they're like, well, okay, why are you carrying all these knives? And I was like, we don't know. We just, it was like there was no, we didn't have a good reason other than that this is just what we do. And they were kind of like, well, we can't let you in with, and we were like, oh man, we're from Pittsburgh, and we're driving from San Jose, and we really wanted to see you. And so they kind of like looked at each other and had discussions, and then they're like, all right, okay, well, we'll let you go in there. And then they gave us the knives back as well, and let us take them in with us, and so it was good, so it was pretty good. So there you go. That's my story of the St. Louis Arch.